everybody, in this video we're going to be tracking two massive storms, one that will be pretty big and bring severe weather for parts of the south, and the backside will bring blizzard conditions and also strong winds along with that. This storm will bring severe weather as a very strong tight negative trough making its way towards the southeast US and bringing severe storms. Along with that, there will be a lot of light with these storms too as it makes its way towards the south. Along with that, there's a day 4 severe risk for parts of Texas, Louisiana, South Mississippi, and Alabama. Along with that, day 5 severe risk for parts of Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina. Along with that, there's a winter side of the storm too. This storm can bring lots of snow on the backside of that and also lots of ice. Along with that, more storms are coming as we have a very active weather pattern. So let's get right towards the video. Hello everybody, so now let's get right into the video. So I hope you're having a very good Friday morning, January 5th, 2024. I am too. In this video, we got some big topics we gotta talk about because we got some big storm that's coming. We do have a big storm that's happening right now and it's fixing to happen, but it's not gonna be our main big one. Our main big one is gonna be after this storm. So we're gonna be going full depth into this video. This video will most likely be 25 plus minutes long because I got so much to talk about. We got the winter storm for the side of the storm and also the severe side of the storm. So if you like these videos I be doing on my channel, please hit that like button, subscribe, and let's get right into it. So first of all, let's talk about this little storm right here because this storm right here is actually going to work its way towards the southeast. Now if you live in parts of North Carolina, western North Carolina, this storm will bring a lot of ice for y'all, a lot of freezing rain for y'all. But that's not a big one. Our big one's going to be after this one. So as I'm recording this right now, we got a storm system that's happening right now towards the Rockies, bringing lots of snow for parts of y'all, Oklahoma, West Oklahoma, Kansas, the Rockies, Ohio revision of the Rockies, getting some snow. In the front side of it, the warm side of the storm, getting some rain. Nothing severe. The storm won't bring much of severe anything, maybe a little bit, but not as much. But this next system we gotta watch is what's gonna bring a severe event and a much bigger snowstorm for parts of the backside of the storm. So let's get right into this video. So now we're gonna look at the overall US 6-hour preset, what the weather's gonna like for the whole US in the next coming days. So right now, as I'm recording this, we got this storm system. It is bringing snow in parts of northern Oklahoma and Kansas. This storm system will be working its way towards the southeast US. And look at this, back towards the southeast, Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, getting lots of rain for this. Nothing too much severe, maybe a little bit for parts of Florida, but not too much for anything severe. But look at this, parts in western North Carolina, Virginia will get ice out of this system too. Excuse me, so please be aware for that. Some snow for parts of the Ohio Valley, not a whole lot. Snow over those lakes, snow over the Dakotas, not a whole lot. We do got a little system that's moving towards the Pacific Northwest, is moving and bringing some snow for parts of Oregon and Washington. But watch this. Once the system gets out of here, here comes our big boy after this one. It starts to fire up by the time it gets towards January 8th. Look at this. Very, very, very dramatic, bad system. Look at this. It does get pretty deep. And look at this, 986 millibars. Now, the European model has been going kind of ups and downs on this system, how strong it's going to be, but it's still going to be a very impactful system. So I think when it comes to snow-wise, the European models is lacking on that. But when it comes to severe rise and how strong the system is itself, it's pretty strong. And in the trough, I'm thinking sure looks very concerned on the 5 millibar wind height. So this is why I'm making this videos, because so much has changed in my last video. This is why I had to start making videos, uploading them much earlier and stop uploading them late at night or late in the evening when most people sometimes can be in the bed. Because I want to get out there, because the thing that my important thing I want to do is give y'all the latest information. And a lot has changed since I did my last video. That's why I deleted off of YouTube. Look at this. By the time we get into January 9th, look at this guy's system. 979 millibars, very strong system. But the thing is, the system is not showing a whole lot of snow. It's showing more like a rain maker for parts of the Ohio Valley. But look at this. It could change. It could change, guys. It could change. Yesterday's even run, I'm going to go back to yesterday's 12Z run. Completely different. Much more snow on the backside. But now we look at the latest run. Less snow, but still an impacted system for parts of the southeast when it comes to severe storms. The next system makers, we out here, boy, look how strong the system gets. We get down to 966 millibars. Ooh, it's 964 millibars. Like, boy, that's a very powerful system towards the northeast. So northeast, I can't forget about y'all, but y'all gonna see some very strong winds with the system too. Even though you're not gonna get snow, you're just gonna get rain, but you're gonna get a lot of wind, and that will knock down trees and power lines. And not that, guys, not over yet. We still got more storm that's coming. Another one on the 12th. Not as impactful, but still bringing decent amount of snow for parts of the Ohio Valley, including Wisconsin and Michigan and the Great Lakes. But look at this. Another storm comes by January 14th. So very active water power ahead of us. So now we're going to look at the 5 mile bar vertically, and this is based on how strong the energy with these storms are. So the stronger the colors are, the brighter the colors are, the stronger the energy is with these storms. So very good thing to look at. But look at this. The first system moves through. Don't really bring much of anything. Probably some light rain, probably a little bit of ice. But look at this. This next system, boy, look at this. Look how tight that is. Like, oh. And it does get negative tilted as it moves towards the southeast, including Georgia, South Carolina, and Florida. So it's going to be a very bad system. Then it make its way towards the northeast. And look what comes behind it. We got more storms that's coming. Like, look at this. Look at this. Like, God, this is a very active water power ahead of us. Like, things are just not changing nowhere near soon. So now, let's get right in towards our 5 mile bar wind height. And these are winds 18,000 feet above our heads. And these are based on how strong our jet streams are. So the stronger the winds are, the stronger the trough is, the stronger the jet stream is, and this is very concerning. So our first system make its way through, not as impressive, but still a pretty decent strong trough. But this next one get a huge dip in the jet stream. Look at that, and that's something you definitely look for severe storms. And look at that. First of all, it starts off positive tippet, then it goes neutral, then it goes negative, and guys, all right, I'm gonna make a disclaimer here. I'm not here to hype stuff up, because sometimes I do have to hype stuff up. I mean, I'm not trying to scare people, but you gotta understand, when it comes to stuff like this, you will most likely hear hype. And I know somewhat of people will hype stuff up, but I'm trying my best not to hype stuff up. But this looks concerning. I'm gonna show you the last run from yesterday run. Look at this. Still impressive with the last yesterday run, but not as impressive as this morning's run. And I can't imagine 12Z run this even it's gonna look like. But look at this. Oops, wrong one. Look at this. Look how tight negative tip this trough is, and along with that, look how strong it is. This is going to be a big severe weather outbreak. I can't stress it enough, because even now the storm prediction has increased and expanded the severe risk for parts of Georgia and South Carolina. And it's because we're going to have all the gradients. So Florida, you're not just including with this. Georgia and South Carolina, you include with this too. But look how tight that is. Look how dynamic it is. You got a lot of strong winds ahead of it. A lot of cold air getting pulled behind it. Boy, this is very bad. Very bad. So now, let's look at our, first of all, I do want to show the 5 mile bar height on it, because we do got more storm that's coming after this big one. But look at this. By the time we get into January 7th, that storm system starts moving out towards the southeast. But look at this. January 8th, boy, look at this. Here comes a much bigger storm system moving towards the southeast. Look at this. Very strong trough. And not only that, we got more troughs coming down too. And look at this, guys. Pacific Northwest, it's just going to be unsettled. Very, very below average heights right here. A lot of below average heights. But thing is, interesting weather pattern. The eastern U.S. is going to be drier due to a lot of ridging. The western U.S. is going to be cooler and wetter because a lot of troughing. So troughing in the west and ridging in the east. By the time we get towards middle of January. So now let's get right in towards the storm prediction center, because we do got multiple days of severe storm. I do want to start with the risk today, because we do got a risk today and tomorrow. So storm prediction center. So now let's talk about the risk today. And the risk today is pretty small, but just I'm going to show you because it's there. So we do have a marginal risk of severe storms in parts of the deep south, including Louisiana and South Mississippi, South Alabama, and Panhandle, Florida. But that is the next storm system is going to bring much bigger severe weather for y'all. There is a tornado threat. Tornadoes are possible for parts of the deep south, including Louisiana, Alabama, and Mississippi. Here's your scene stakes at risk for the tornado threat, and also here's your scene stakes at risk for the severe risk in the state. Wind threat, pretty low, 5%. Here's your scene stakes at risk for the wind threat. Along with that, hail. Here's your scene stakes at no hail for the no hail for this system. But we do have a severe risk for Friday. It's just not Friday, Saturday. So severe risk for parts of Florida. There's only a small risk, there's only a marginal risk, but still possible. Some storms can get pretty strong. So tornado threat, yes, it's a tornado threat. 2% risk for tornadoes. So first of all, Hurricane states at risk for the marginal risk severe on Saturday. Tornado threat, 2%. Hurricane states at risk for the tornado threat. Wind threat, 5%. Hurricane states at risk for that. And there's also no hail threat. So now, let's get right into our big days, our bigger days of severe event. So we do have a day 5, day 4 severe risk for parts of deep south, including Texas, eastern Texas, South Louisiana, South Alabama, and Mississippi, and the Panhandle of Florida. Here's these states at risk for the severe risk on this day. And also, we do have this 15% risk for severe weather on day 5, and this has expanded towards South Carolina and North Carolina. So now y'all are including on this sightly risk on day 5. Florida, you're under the gun. So here's your sea states at risk for the severe risk on Tuesday. So now let's get right into the ingredients. So what's causing the severe risk? Well, thanks for this very, very strong, powerful negative trough that's just gonna dominate towards the southeast, and this is gonna be bad. This is just gonna be bad. And I'm not here to scare y'all guys, but this looks pretty scary. So first trough come through, not too impressive, not really much of a trough, still just a big blob of trough. But this next one is going to be a much tighter trough. Look how strong it is. Now first of all, here it comes, guys. The deep south, you're going to see severe weather, but I think on day 5 is probably going to be a much bigger day on severe weather because we're going to have much more to this trough, much more to this. But look at this. By the time we get in towards January 9th, look at this. Wow, very strong. The mid-level winds, guys, is 45 plus knots. Wow, very, very bad. Very tight negative tip. Very strong winds in front of the system that's pulling a lot of moisture out of that Gulf. So there's going to be a lot of moisture with this system too ahead of these storms. And boy, this looks very concerning. That's something you don't want to see. And I can't imagine what the 12Z run is going to look like because things are still changing, guys. Things can still change just a little bit because we're a little bit too far out. So now let's get right in towards the low-level jet winds. These are winds only 18,000 feet, or not 18,000 feet, 5,000 feet above our heads. And this matters a lot because when we get winds very strong, just 5,000 feet above our heads, that means we got wind chill environment. We got turning the winds. We got very strong winds, 30 plus knots, which we definitely got way more than that. And these are winds only 5,000 feet above our heads. And I will go a little bit lower than that, towards 2,000 feet above our heads, because the damaging wind threat will be a threat, and so is the tornadoes. So by the time we get into January 7th, this first system does move it through. But look at this. The reason why we do have severe weather parts of Florida is because we do got this amount of greens. We got that low-level jet winds to support storms, but not as high like we fixing to see on this day. January 8th, here comes our very big system. The deep south, you're not gonna have a whole lot of low-level jet winds, but still enough to support tornadoes. But look at this. This next one is gonna be a much bigger one. Look at this. On day 5, look at these low-level jet winds. Got anywhere from 66 to 74 knots. Very strong little jet winds. Very tight surface law. Look at these winds, guys. Just 5,000 feet above our heads. And let's go a little bit lower towards the atmosphere, towards 2,000 feet above our heads, which is a 925 millibar wind height. Let's go a little bit lower. Look at this. Already, guys, just 2,000 feet above our heads, we already got winds blowing 50 to 58 knots. Even look at this, blowing anywhere from 60 to 70 knots, just 2,000 feet above our heads. Like, this is very, very concerning. Look at this. Just 2,000 feet above our heads, we got winds blowing 70 knots. Like, boy. And this is where airplanes fly too, that's very concerning. I'm pretty sure a lot of airports could be canceled due to these severe storms and the very strong winds aloft. So now I want to show you. Let's get into the rest of the green. So how about instability I live? How much instability we gonna have? So this also has growing and has a spinning. This is why the storm prediction center has a spinning there. slightly risk on day 5 because South Carolina and North Carolina is also going to be included for the severe risk too, because enough greens does come in for y'all. But I think the main focus of severe weather is probably going to be like down towards Georgia and Florida, so we're probably going to have the best chance. But still, South Carolina and North Carolina, you could see severe weather too. It's still possible. But I think Florida and Georgia are going to have that best chance. But look at this. By the time we get into January 5th, as far as storm system moves through, bring this amount of cape, not a whole lot, but look at this. Next system moves in. Look at all these cape, guys. This storm system is going to have a lot of cape ahead of the system, too. Parts of Georgia, Florida, South Carolina getting this amount of cape. North Carolina getting this amount of cape. And that's why we had that severe risk expanded towards South Carolina and North Carolina, because we got the cape now for y'all. So, how about dew points? 60 plus dew points. Are we having that? Come on. You got to speed up. So the first storm system making its way through, it does bring a decent amount of dew points on parts of Florida, so that's why we have that severe risk on Saturday. But look at this, much bigger threat on Tuesday. Look at this, much more moisture gonna get pulled out of that Gulf due to the lot of strong winds ahead of this storm. Look at this, a lot of dew points on parts of Florida in the upper to mid 60s. Look at this, Georgia, South Carolina got dew points in the low to mid 60s, and definitely enough to dew points to support severe storms. Even North Carolina, some dew points in the mid to upper 60s too. So now, let's time this out. And we are a little bit too far out to lose the future weather, but we can time out the lightning, because every time you see a lightning, that's a storm. So the stronger the more lightning is, the stronger the storms are. So by the time we get into January 6th, we do get a decent amount of lightning on side with these first round of severe storms parts of Florida. But the next storm after that, the next bigger storm, look at this. Lots of lightning for parts of the deep south, including Louisiana, Texas, South Mississippi, Alabama, bring lots of lightning with these storms. Some of these storms can be tornado produced, but look at this. This next system forms up. Look at this. A huge line of storms moving towards Florida, and some of these cells ahead of these storms can rotate and be a tornado producer. Look at this. A lot of lightning for parts of Georgia, South Carolina, and Florida. Getting lots of light as this big, huge line of storms come. This will change, guys. So take this with a grain of salt. It's been changing a lot in the past run, so please take this with a grain of salt. So now, how much rain are we going to see out of these storms? Well, we're going to see a whole lot of rain. So how much rain can fall now into January 10th? Well, a lot of rain can fall. Parts of the southeast, thanks for these storms that's coming, we can see a lot of heavy rain, anywhere from 4 to 6 inches of rain. Panhandle, Florida, you can see anywhere from 8 to 10 inches of rain. Rest of y'all, the Ohio Valley will see rain too. The European model is showing this. GFS model showing the same thing, but GFS wants this a little bit more ballistic for parts of Panhandle, Florida. You can see anywhere from 8 to 12 inches of rain. Southeast, you can see anywhere from 4 to 6 inches of rain. A lot of rain for parts of the Pacific Northwest. And the Northeast, see anywhere from 3 to 4 inches of rain. So now let's get right towards the back side of the storm, the snow side of the storm, for parts of the central U.S. because the systems will bring lots of snow for y'all. So the first system making its way through as of right now does bring some snow right now for parts of Oklahoma, Kansas, and moving towards Missouri, and snow for the Ohio Valley. But this next system comes through. Look at this. Much more heavier snow for parts of the Ohio Valley, central U.S. Iowa, Minnesota, Nebraska, Kansas, and western Oklahoma getting lots of snow with this system. In Missouri, you do get a lot of snow with this system too. The system making its way through. So now, how strong the winds are going to be with this system? Because the system will be very strong. It will bring some strongest winds. So these are sustained winds. These are not wind gusts. These are sustained winds. These are winds that's just going to be blowing at the same speed all the time. And the wind gusts along that's going to be much higher. So sustained winds, look at this. You got sustained winds over 32 knots, 32 miles per hour winds. Look at this. Very, very strong winds towards western Oklahoma and Kansas. The winds does die off as it moves towards far east, but still pretty strong, decent, strong, sustained winds in parts of Oklahoma and Texas. Now let's get right towards the wind gusts. The wind gusts is going to be very, very strong. So you can see wind gusts anywhere from 30 to 40 mile per hour wind gusts. And look at this, part of Texas, you're seeing wind gusts over 45 mile per hour wind gusts. A very strong wind gust with this. GFS model showing very strong sustained winds too. But GFS is a little bit more ballistic when it comes to sustained winds. The GFS loves to hype stuff up, and I kind of hate that. GFS, stop hyping stuff up. Stop scaring people, please. Look at these sustained winds over tropical storm force winds, like tropical storm force winds, sustained winds. Come on, for parts of northern Texas, Oklahoma, New Mexico, Western Oklahoma, and Kansas, Nebraska. Look at this, guy. GFS is just hyping stuff up. I don't think this is going to happen. I think the European model is more right, but I don't think that's going to happen because that's way that if that does happen, that will be blizzard right there. Very strong winds. So the wind gusts. GFS loves to hype this stuff up, guys. Look at this. GFS wants very strong wind gusts over 50 to 60 miles per hour. Wind gusts. A lot of wind gusts towards Oklahoma and Kansas. They're moving towards the east. So now, how much snow we can see out of this system? So now into the 10th, we can see a lot of snow with the systems. Anywhere from 7 to, these storms can bring anywhere from 7 to 10 inches of snow in parts of Kansas. Oklahoma get some snow. Missouri, you can see anywhere from 10 inches of snow. Iowa, anywhere from 9 inches of snow. Nebraska, eastern Nebraska, especially eastern Nebraska, you can see anywhere from 7 inches of snow. A lot of snow with these systems on the European model. GFS model. GFS model showing a lot of snow, but a little bit more bullets on the GFS model. GFS model wants 10 inches of snow for parts of central Missouri, in the north, Indiana, seeing lots of snow anywhere from 9 to 16 inches of snow. A lot of snow for parts of Kansas, northern Oklahoma, anywhere from 7 to 10 inches of snow. A lot of snow for these central U.S. states. Along with that, now let's get right towards an ice storm with this first system. This first system, not this big system, this first system that's going to make its way towards southeast will bring ice for parts of western North Carolina and Virginia. So let's get right towards the ice totals. How much ice we can see. So we can see anywhere from a quarter to an inch of ice for parts of western North Carolina and Virginia on the European model. And the GFS model showing a decent amount of ice too. Now the GFS does want this a little bit more far north, a little bit more ice for parts of western Virginia. So please be heads up for this ice, guys. This will knock down some trees because these ice will stick on these trees and put extra weight on these trees and will cause these trees to fall. Along with that, these ice will put weight on these power lines and will bust out the power lines. So please find a way to stay safe and get some power because power will most likely go out due to a lot of ice on these power lines and trees. So now let's get right towards the northeast because once this system moves its way towards the northeast, it will bring very heavy rain and some very strong winds. I don't want to forget about y'all. Trees can knock down, powers can knock down. You can see anywhere from hurricane force wind gusts. Yes, even Cat 2 hurricane force wind gusts possible too. So let's get right into the system. So by the time getting towards January 7th, the first system makes its way through, brings a lot of stuff parts of Pennsylvania, New York, Massachusetts, Delaware, and New York City. Main game line snow, but this next system come through. Now the next system, you're not gonna see much, if anything, if no snow, but still, it's still gonna bring an impact system. You're gonna see a lot of heavy rain and very, very strong winds. Most of the snow is still up towards Canada. So now, let's get right into the GFS. GFS showing the same thing. Very strong system, just a lot of rain. But now, very strong winds. Before I get into strong winds, let's show the snowfall total because we're not gonna see a whole lot of snow with these systems for parts of the, but still, the first system, this is not the second system, this is how much snow the first system will bring. The second system will bring rain, but the first system will bring 10 inches of rain for parts of New York, 9 inches of, not rain, 10 inches of snow for parts of New York, 9 inches of snow for parts of Pennsylvania, and Delaware and Maryland and Maine get some snow too. So this first system will bring a lot of snow for y'all. So now, how much wind these storms will bring? Okay, yeah, how much wind these storms will bring? So we're gonna start with the sustained winds. Sustained winds with the first system will be pretty strong. Not as very much as strong, but most of the strong winds stay off the coast. But this next storm system on the 9th. Look at these guys. These are sustained winds. Sustained winds blowing towards. You got sustained winds just off the coast, reaching almost towards hurricane force sustained winds. Like, boy, that's very concerned. Look at these sustained winds. Very, very strong. Just on the coast of Massachusetts, you got sustained winds blowing tropical storm force. Very, very powerful system moving through. And I just can't wait to show you the wind gusts. The wind gusts is very horrible, guys. So look at this. Wind gusts on these days. Look at this. You got wind gusts over hurricane force wind gusts. Yes, hurricane force wind gusts just off the coast of Maine. Hurricane force wind gusts just off the coast of Massachusetts and New York. Very strong wind gusts over towards Massachusetts. Look at this. Towards Maryland and Delaware. New York, you can see wind gusts over 65 mile per hour wind gusts. Very strong wind gusts with this system. Not a GFS. GFS sustained winds showing very strong winds with a system. Very high winds. Look at this. This next system coming, GFS is just crazy. Hurricane force sustained winds. Are you kidding me? Off the coast of Massachusetts and Maine, like, oh my god, GFS is just hyping stuff up. I'm hyping stuff up too, but still. Look at this. Very strong winds for parts of Maine, Massachusetts. Wind gusts. Very strong too. Let me show the wind gusts. The GFS is going a little bit high. The GFS wants hurricane force winds towards Boston. Yes, hurricane force wind gusts towards Boston, Massachusetts. So please be aware for that. And also, I do want to show you the waves because the waves are going to be significant. Thanks for these very strong winds. So the first system makes its way through, brings some very high waves, but not as much waves as next system come through. Look at this. Next system come through, boy. Look at these waves. Yes, you got to stay off these waters because these waves are significant. You got waves anywhere from 45 to 50 feet waves. Yes, 50 feet waves. It's like a hurricane just off the coast of the U.S. Yeah, you got waves this big, so stay out of these waters. These rip currents are gonna be significant. Very strong waves. 50 feet wave, God, this is off the chart. This probably might be even more waves too, but this is off the chart. Very strong waves with this system. So this is gonna be it for this video, guys. I hope you like it. If you do, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you on my next video. Peace.